Greetings, Autobots, and welcome back. I have some good news for you today. We have found a new wooden table to record videos on, so you'll be seeing a little bit of a change of scenery in videos going forward. And to celebrate this return of the Oak King, as it were, I thought, let's do another Optimus Prime. This one being quite interesting. This is the Transformers Dark of the Moon Voyager class Optimus Prime. Now, he comes packaged in robot mode, and I don't have his mech tech weapon. I think I lost it, or it got broke or something to that effect. But with all that being said, let's get stuck in and see what the crack is. So, this figure being part of the first wave of Dark of the Moon Voyager class figures, this Optimus Prime transforms into an unlicensed modified Peterbilt 379 semi-truck. Unlicensed in that you can't see any official badges or insignias in vehicle mode. Now, we'll read the bio for the figure. Courtesy of the TF Wiki, the tech spec and bio says, Optimus Prime has defended countless worlds against the threat of the Decepticons, but Earth is the first place since Cybertron that he has considered home. He lays his life on the line in the defense of his adopted world. Every action he takes and every modification he makes to his formidable body is done to protect Earth. Strength of 10, Intelligence 10, Speed 7, Endurance 10, Rank 10, Courage 10, Fire Blast 10, and Skill 9. Big ups to the TF Wiki for the info. Now we can get into the toy. Now I'm going to try filming at 60 FPS just to see what you guys think. But we can see here Optimus Prime is very different to how we usually see him on this channel. This figure is very proportioned in a very strange way. He's got very long legs and a small chest, but with how the transformation comes about and just the overall look of the figure, we'll just get a closer look in so you can see all that lovely detail. You can see some gorgeous silver paint across the main body. I especially enjoy how they included the sort of ribcage armor that Optimus adopted after his death in Revenge of the Fallen. Very nice attention to detail. Some more blue paint here. I do wish these little faux wheels were painted, but they don't really do anything, so I suppose it's not the end of the world. Not the biggest deal. It's some lovely detail around the feet, and especially, you're going to see this during the transformation. Optimus Prime's feet here are a lot more movie accurate than some of the older movie toys, particularly the 2007 movie Voyager, which I absolutely adore. That figure is really fun to me. And take a look at the back here. He's very clean and kibble. He's got the truck backs, or the cab, roof of the cab on his... Let me just wipe that off there. I'm not sure what that is. Mysterious substance. I don't know. Maybe it's the pre-owned toy grease or something. I don't know. But he's a nice glossy finish, especially this opaque plastic. And one thing you're going to notice here is this Prime is what looks like solar panels. And my camera actually has a bit of a light, so it actually reflects rather nicely on camera. Looks quite good. Cannot complain. It's very different to your previous Optimus Prime toys and even future Optimus Primes. This guy is very unique. And I think that's part of what makes him such a fun figure. So let's talk posability. Optimus Prime is rocking a full head swivel. He can look up that far, down that far. You can disconnect this tab here and give him a little bit of back, though that's more so for transformation. These gas cans, you can rotate them. They're on a ball joint, as you can see there. You can just sort of swish them around, like so. These sections here can fold out slightly, so you can angle them however you wish. I prefer to keep them sticking out so it's more movie accurate in a sense. Arms can pull a full rotation at the shoulder. A little bit tight going up. The shoulders pull just slightly over a 90. As for the bend at the elbow, you've got maximum bend, and that's for transformation, but it helps for getting in some poses. And I forgot to say, this figure is rather infamous for its gorilla arms, as if you wanted, you can rotate them to have them sitting like this, but then you lose out on the more realistic posing of the elbow. So it's a bit of a trade-off, but I don't mind it. And when he stands up, he's always kind of strutting him, he's always kind of thrusting himself outwards, like a very heroic stance. Now, what else we got? Oh yeah, we have a little movement here. Wrist is on a ball joint, so you do have a wrist swivel. Very nice. Legs are on sort of soft ratchets. They don't really click, but maybe they do. I'm not sure. No, must be going crazy. And you do have a waist rotation, so you can have Optimus just go like, I'm gonna suck you right in your stupid face. I don't know why that made me laugh there. It was just a really funny visual. So you can have Optimus's super secret power punch gimmick, patent pending. Legs can actually ratchet it going forward and backward. Very nice clicky ratchets. Knees pull just slightly over 90, and in a surprising turn of events, an actual heel and some toe up and toe down. Very little toe up, but a decent bit of toe down, so you can kind of get him into more dynamic poses. So he's surprisingly better than average despite his rather unusual appearance and design. This Optimus is definitely no slouch in the posing department. But how does this guy transform? Well, you've come to the right place. It's kind of my thing, you know. If you've been here for a while, you know I'm the Transformers guy. So what are we going to start with? We'll start with the arms. So what you're going to want to do first is see these pegs. They're going to peg into these little ports right here. So just rotate the arm and then bring it up. You can see just the peg going in right there. Just, you'll have to, it's kind of difficult to see because of this piece. You can kind of, yeah, you can rotate that out of the way just to get a better look at the angle. So you're just going to want to hinge that and straighten that out like so. So you can bend it. And then this is the only real tricky part, is just making sure it fits into place. But we'll tackle that when we get the rest of this done. So we'll lay the groundwork. We just gotta lay the prep work. So rotate that wheel well. Bring this whole section up and around. Make sure to just squeeze it up a wee bit. And you should have the arms looking like this. Now, I have heard reports and stories of people's arms ripping clean off because they put stress on this part here. What you're going to want to do is just put your fingers here and gently pull it out. If the tab is too tight, shave it down with a nail file or a bit of sandpaper. Just avoid breaking your figure, because these old toys, you're going to want to preserve them. You're going to want to keep them nice and safe. So once you unpeg that, you can just bring the chest down, and it actually exposes the windshield of the truck mode, which looks really, really cool. And you're going to want to just bring all this down, which will give us a bit more wiggle room. If I can just move that out of the way. This is the real tricky part. If it takes a little too long, I might just cut so you guys can get to the rest of it. But as long as I can maybe, because he's just a little bit difficult. I suppose it might be just because I'm on camera. Bear with me. I'll come back whenever I've got his arm clicked in. Okay, there we go. Took a little bit, but I managed to squeeze it in. So just keep this here for the time being. Swing that in. Actually, maybe we're going to want to plug this in first. So yeah, that one's a bit easier. I suppose it's just, I don't know, plastic degradation or maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. So tap this front hood piece and the front portion of the grille together. And then you're going to want to bring them down and then straighten it up like this. Make sure the fists are folded down like such. And then click the wheel wells into place like so. There we go, get that right. And then you're going to want to take these two panels and just pinch them together and then slide them back. There are two posts that are going to go into two ports on the chest piece assembly. So just give it a good squeeze and they will slide into place, no bother. Next, you're going to want to take these two parts of the grill and just push up the way. It's a lot easier than it looks. It's just the plastic can be a little bit tough, but I'd rather it be just a bit too tough than too brittle. So if you want it to look a little bit more flat, I think you could just kind of squeeze it, but we'll leave it like that. There you have the front of the truck and the arms all done. The rest of it is really simple compared to that. That's the trickiest part, just because you have to get things together. So come around to the back here, take this little panel, bring it down and just collapse it in and sit the panel like so. Now we can come around here and take these parts here and bring them out. They're on this little hinge assembly, and then we can swing this down and then plug it in place and just leave this hanging out for the time being, and this will create the side of the cab. So we'll just repeat the same process. Take this, bring it down, finagle that out the way. Make sure, are we swinging that the right way? There we go. So just swing that around, tap that in nice and secure like. There we are. You stay in your place. You stay in your home, Mr. Wheelwell. Get you nice and secured. Now, the legs. As I mentioned, this is the most interesting part of the transformation, and you're going to see how these legs are constructed. So you're just going to take these parts here and bring them up, then bring the smokestack, and this will form the entire roof of the truck. So just take that and swing that up. Next, this is the funny part, or the intriguing part. You're going to want to just take this inner wheel section, and it's kind of hard to show on camera because just the angle and the clearance can be a little bit iffy, but untap this wheel well from this post and port on the inner leg, and then you're going to want to swing this around. It's very tight on my copy, and then collapse it like so, and there you have one leg fully transformed. Same process on the other side. Hopefully this isn't as arduous as the... Oh, thanks, Optimus. You decided to throw me a bone. Not a problem. Glad to be of assistance, Autobot. So, we're just going to want to take the back halves and plug them together. Do the same thing with these panels up top, and straighten out the smokestacks as such. Make sure it's all just flat together. Yeah, just like that. And then you're going to want to take the legs at the thigh and then swing them up. And then just, it's a matter of squeezing the roof pieces together. They'll fit into place well and proper. It just takes a little bit of doing, a little bit of squeezing. But once everything is nice and squozen, it sits in place. Now, to complete the transformation, you're just going to take these little bits here, and there's a tab that is going to go into a slot right here on the thigh. So you plug that in, and there you have one gas can, fully complete. So just repeat the same process, swing that in, tab that in. Make sure everything's all nice and squozen. And there you have Dark of the Moon, Voyager class, Optimus Prime. A very unique transformation, especially for an Optimus Prime. And the vehicle mode, it's the spitting image of the movie to a point, but it takes some liberties with these giant rocket fuel looking gas canisters. most important of all, the new solar panel like detailing on the roof of the truck, which I do quite like. It's a nice distinction from other Optimus Prime figures of this scale and toy line. Makes him stand out on the shelf besides his unique transformation and robot. And what you're left with is a pretty nice approximation, a pretty solid, well put together, good proportioned take on that Peterbilt semi-truck. You do have a little bit of gappiness at the back, though thankfully because of the construction of the legs, the truck bed is very clean. You've just got the trailer hitch here and the fenders and wheels nicely laid out there. And some very, very pretty gloss on the plastic. These old figures, there were 2 factories and 2 suppliers ago, give or take. So naturally plastic is going to feel a lot different, but something like this, it feels very similar to something like, let me think, what's the figure line around? 2007 Dropkick. It just has that same kind of chunk factor to the plastic. But we'll take a closer look at some more details here. You can see grille, minimal detail here. You have some nice silver detailing here on the top of the grille. Very pretty looking with a, if I can just get it to focus, a miniature Autobot insignia picked out in red. I do kind of wish they painted the rest of the grille in the silver, but it's not the end of the world, but it does affect the look of the truck somewhat, at least in my eyes. But aside from the somewhat pinchy transformation, or how would I even describe it? Aside from my difficulties transforming it, it's a solid figure and definitely worth your time. He's not that expensive nowadays, and on aftermarket prices, especially if he's just got the truck or even some of the other repaints, the Fireburst version in particular being my favorite variation of this mold, you can get him for a really cheap asking price. So, that being said, I think this vehicle form is absolutely fantastic. I especially can't get enough of the solar panel detailing. It's one of those design traits that just really makes this figure stand out as something unique and special amongst the sea of red and blue trucks that we call Optimus Prime. So, let's get him back into robot mode to close out the video. Like last time, I'm just gonna stop talking and let the toy speak for itself. I forgot to mention as well, in robot mode, Optimus Prime actually features a little bit of light piping, though due to the coloration of the plastic at the back, it leads to a somewhat dull look in the eyes. And there you have Dark of the Moon Voyager class Optimus Prime back in his robot mode. So what do we make of this figure at the end of it all? For an Optimus Prime, it possesses an incredibly unique and entertaining transformation, though the tolerances can lead to it being a little bit finicky at points. It never verges into the realm of being frustrating, and as such, leads to it being a remarkably fun deskbot to flip back and forth from vehicle to robot mode. If you can find this guy for cheap, whether at a charity shop, a toy store, or just on a little eBay browsing trip, pick him up. You won't go wrong with this figure. It gets the Prime seal of approval. And I think that's about it for this video. So, with a new setup comes new Transformers to review and discuss. So, you guys know the drill. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more of it, or more of its kind, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the video and the figure in particular. Or if you just want to leave a comment and just have some fun. That's what we're all here for. We're just here to have fun on this show. And I think that's about it. So, with all that being said, this is Autobot ASMR, signing off for the day. Autobots, transform and roll out to bed till all are one.